Welcome back to the Tour Daily Podcast, everybody. We're on the top of the Hautacam, the first true mountain stage of the 2025 Tour de France. We just witnessed, annihilation isn't really the right word. That's maybe a little bit much, but we witnessed one rider being significantly better on the day, at least, than everybody else. Tadej Pogačar wins the stage, rode through that early breakaway that I think had 39 riders in it at one point. Rode through that breakaway like it was standing still, dropped Jonas Vingegaard, and where do we stand? Ian Trollor?
Tadej Pogačar is looking like the rider to beat, even more than he has been looking like the rider to beat since the start of the race. So that's, it's great for Tadej Pogačar. I don't know how good it is for the rest of the Tour de France in terms of maintaining things like interest and suspense and narrative.
We're staying positive, Ian.
Sorry.
We're staying positive.
Yeah, no, let's reframe that.
Well,
Scores on the doors.
Pogačar. Also joining me, Jonny Long. Welcome.
Oh, hi. Well done. I don't know if I said well done to you. I think I was looking at the results and saw Pogačar had taken 2 minutes on Vingegaard and internally was like, oh, well done. That's a good result. Yeah, 2 minutes, 10 seconds.
Which brings the GC to
3.5 minutes. Evenepoel still in third, 4:45. But maybe we're going to have to do a bit of an F1 Drive to Survive where we get really into who's going to come fifth. I would actually give you a corrections call on early doors. It didn't look like Pogačar was going through the breakaway while they were standing still. It looked like Pogačar was going through the breakaway while they were going backwards. Look, this is what happens in the mountains, right? It's where
there's no hiding. Sepp Kuss, I chatted with Sepp after the stage. He described it as an honest stage. There is no hiding. There is no trickery. There is no tactics. I think I wrote in a story around this time last year that you can kind of hide bad tactics with good legs, but good tactics are not going to hide.
Yeah. Not
necessarily bad legs, but not the best legs, unfortunately, for Jonas Vingegaard. So what's our top three on GC now?
So Pogačar first, Vingegaard second, 3 minutes 31. Evenepoel 4 minutes 45. I'll give you a couple more. Florian Lipowitz up 4 places to fourth, 5 minutes 34. Vauquelin slightly behind him. Oscar Onley also rises after finishing fifth overall to 6:05. We also have Tobias Hallen Johannesson, who finished fourth today and climbs to eighth. Your man, indeed. We say that it's good for everyone. It's bad for everyone, maybe, apart from Tadej Pogačar. We are at the top of the Hautacam, and we got to watch Mario Gianetti with just a thin, pleased smile on his lips, watching Pogačar put more and more and more time into Jonas Vingegaard.
Lerick and Luke had this sort of good sense to just sort of sit there stone-faced.
Yeah, but Mario Gianetti literally couldn't help himself.
He
was happy as a pig in shit.
Sorry,
swear word.
I gave him a thin smile of my own when he walked past me.
Yeah, did he like
that? And we locked eyes, and that was fun.
So what does this means that...
And you didn't turn to dust.
It was like looking at Nosferatu.
Laser beams didn't shoot out of his eyes and burn through the back of his cranium.
I think any grievances he might have had have probably dissipated.
Oh, sorry, I forgot about that.
On the basis of Tadej Pogačar just crushing everybody like little ants.
I proved you wrong. Did he didn't offer you to... he didn't suggest that you go off and drink a beer or something like you usually do?
No. That seems to be just what the French say to me.
Right, bike racing stuff.
Okay. Tadej Pogačar wins. Jonas Vingegaard was the closest. Let's talk about the riders who really had a bad day, because there were a number of them today.
Well, Evenepoel had a bad day, but then sort of came back, and it wasn't such a bad day after all. So
still not a great day.
Lost 3.5 minutes. Yeah, not great, but not as bad as it looked when he dropped off that first climb.
We had the joy of listening to the NBC coverage, and I can't remember whether it was Phil or Bob Roll. One of them said, "Oh, and he is not coming back, and that is gone." And I think at that point it was kind of looking like he'd be losing 10 minutes or 15 minutes or whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
Real damage, but he's still third. He's still best young rider.
Yeah.
So I wrote Remco dropped done toast in the notes.
Well,
totally
I don't think he's as toasted as you think.
Because that's what it looked like when I wrote the note.
I would say it's like when you put a slice of bread into the toaster, and then you realize that you don't actually need to make that many slices of bread, so you pop it up so it's like a little bit dry.
Yeah.
But
you could easily pop it back down, forget about it, and then it's just completely toasted.
Yeah, or you can take it out and let it steam up the bag of bread that you put it back into.
If it looks like I'm looking around weirdly, it's because I'm trying to figure out when the president of France is going to go by us.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of dudes with little ear thingies looking very serious. And Macron is up here somewhere.
I think I've just spotted behind us. You might be able to see it too if you watch on YouTube. That might be his official photographer because there's a big old camera. Unless that's a secret gun for his personal bodyguard. And we're watching for the evacs. We can't get.
So Remco ended up kind of pulling it back. Matteo Jorgensen, who started the day in third, right? He
pulled the pin a bit.
He pulled the pin.
Yeah.
And again, did one of you talk to Matteo? Or hear
stuck
Matteo?
the mic in, didn't hear. Did you hear Matteo?
Yeah, he said he went too hard on the first climb, and that he didn't have the legs to keep it going for GC. So I forget the exact word he used. It might have been unhooked or unlatched from his GC aspirations. He was exhausted.
Yeah. Sepp mentioned this a little bit as well when I was chatting with him because he was asked about Matteo, and he's like, the early stages you can kind of play cards like that, but today is an honest stage, as the phrase he used.
The other person giving us reasons for hope is Picnic Post&L's sports director Matt Winston.
Yes.
Who said he expects the guys who suffered today to bounce back. And he said that today what we saw was a combination of super hot temperatures. Like when we arrived at the top here at whatever altitude we are, Compass Man can probably let us know.
About 1,600 meters.
Thank you. It was already about 30 degrees centigrade, whereas...
Just like 85 Fahrenheit?
Yeah, whereas, think about how... Is that Macron going there in a helicopter? Au revoir, Emmanuel. Whereas down in the valley, it would have been even hotter, right? And then it's that combined with how hard and fast the racing has been throughout the first elongated week.
Yeah. And go ahead.
I just think we're about to get the Macron delegation.
Are we going to get moved?
I don't know.
We might get moved.
We might get shot.
Let's hope not.
Play our cards wrong.
This isn't America, Ian. I think we'll be all right. Also, Simon Philip Yates, well down the standings. He had already sort of shed a bunch of time, but I think just the fact that he wasn't necessarily there as long as they probably would have hoped. Sepp Kuss did have a good day, though. So Visma does still have a strong climbing Sepp, the Eagle of Durango, although I think possibly the Eagle of Andorra, let's be honest at this point. So I guess the point being here is that we've talked a lot about sort of the strongest team in the race and the strongest rider in the race, and whether those two things, like how those two things would interact, right? And I think we just wondered. In the first week, we were wondering, would this very strong team be able to overcome the reality of Tadej Pogačar? And again, I come back to Sepp's quote about it being an honest stage, because I think that is a great way to describe it. It's sort of like when you get to a day like today, these guys are very distracted about the president about to go.
Sorry, I was waiting. Yeah, that's fine. I'm listening.
When you get to a day like today, it just came down to legs, and I think that if you're Visma, you're sort of rethinking what that tactical playbook can look like, because they don't have a Roglic like they could use on the Grand a couple years ago. They don't have that individual. Sepp is already well back on GC. Matteo has now shed all this GC time. It's mano a mano at this point, and the only sort of tactic they can really employ would be more like a Giro Finestre style, how they took the race off of Isaac Del Toro.
On the tactics from Visma Lease bike, I spoke to Grisha Nierman, who unfortunately didn't tell me I was any kind of motorbike, which was a little rude if you ask me. But he was explaining that they're probably
shark necklace in or out so people can picture it.
I was just a little bit worried about dealing with the angry German man that was
I'm pretty sure
not
it's in
enjoying the
because
cut of my gym.
I think it's been in the whole tour, and you know that because if you don't notice it, it means it's not out, because if you do, then it's
one thing you can't take your eyes off of.
Yeah.
No, I was distracted by his spiked hair. So
freshly gelled, as always.
And the death glances that he was giving me when I suggested that maybe in an interview with Eurosport where he'd said that the best man had won, that maybe it sounded a little bit like they were conceding to second place for the rest of the tour.
Oh, good question.
No,
wow.
the tour is long.
They will take it day by day.
Do people forget?
The tour is long.
Do people forget yesterday? He fell down yesterday. He could fall down again.
Yeah.
He could get sick. He could just crack. He could not eat right. He could, in the heat or whatever. All sorts of things could still happen. And I'm not writing this tour off just yet. That said, so we every day we split the podcast into a section I call racing, and a section that I put in the run sheet as the not racing, and I think the not racing is about to get a lot longer every stage.
Yeah.
I think it's going to become perhaps the bulk of the podcast as we get into the next week. Who are all these people?
They
These are
were
all
all
the
held back
people-
because of Macron coming out. Oh, there goes Matt Stevens saying goodbye. He's going home. The tour is over. See you, Matt.
So he's going to go sit in the car for an hour, which we're going to do the same
We're
thing.
going to be distracted by everyone who
Just,
walks past now.
just to bring it back to the racing
Yeah.
for once in my stupid life, Grisha Neiman also was talking about how Visma seemed a little bit underpowered today.
Yeah.
And it seemed as if Matteo not being on a good day had come a bit as a surprise to him. He said all of a sudden Matteo was dropped and on the Salur. He said it on the radio, but before then nobody really had an idea that he wasn't on a good day. So they sort of have to change the strategy a bit and slow down. But in the end, whatever would have happened today happened today.
Yeah.
We're going to have to hope that whatever fortunes either the top two are feeling, that they flip around very quickly, because we have a mountain time trial tomorrow and then super bangers on Saturday. So, yeah.
Lots
I
of
have
bike race. Like I said, I'm staying positive. Lots of bike race still to come.
Also,
Jonas
it's
is
not all
great.
about who
Jonas is
wins.
great in the last week.
Yeah.
We got huge Alp stages. Because I mean, if we don't stay optimistic in that way, then we're basically what we're looking at based on the time gap today is we're looking at the last time Pogi raced the Giro, where he won by 10 minutes and could have won by 30.
Yeah.
Right. So like we're not even entertaining this as a possibility at this point. Anyway, I think that's probably enough of the racing section.
Well, I
tonight.
have
Do you have another thing?
No, I have an item that can seamlessly move us from racing into.
Well, I was thinking not
fun.
racing might happen in a different place.
Oh, by the car.
Either by the car, so we can get ready to go, or down in Lourdes.
Okay, great. For people who watch on
Lordy.
YouTube, you'll have seen basically a Lynx advert of a migration of men who want to smell better or something going behind us. That might only be a British advert, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been quite.
Like the wildebeest.
We've just had
across the
hordes
savannah.
sort of swarming around us, and it's been quite off-putting.
And lots of our sort of media friends looking at us
Yeah.
and wondering if they should come say hello in the podcast, and then deciding that they do not want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, well, take a quick break.
Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we've got the not racing section, which, again, is going to be... It's really going to be the backbone of the pod, I think, for the next week. We have Policeman's Corner. We have Roglic's ankle socks. We have a Macron update. We have something from Fred Wright on being the bravest boy. We have so much good stuff coming later in the show. But we are going to take a quick break. We're going to reposition ourselves, either preparing to get down this mountain or possibly at the bottom of it. Either way, we'll see you in just a second. Welcome back, everybody. We have moved
Yes.
200 to 300 meters. We are podcasting, for those of you not lucky enough to be watching on YouTube, we're podcasting from the hood of our vehicle, a Peugeot 308. The bonnet. And we're waiting in this sort of line for the evacuation. Maybe really briefly, so we came up here to the top of Hodokan. Most of our colleagues did not. And honestly, 9 times out of 10, I think I would have made the same call. Coming up here is often just a complete cluster. You end up stuck in a giant traffic jam like we are right now. You have to get the evacuation down with the cops. Sometimes you miss it. It's a disaster. However, today, it was great. We talked to all kinds of people. It was just like us and TV up here. Who did we talk to?
Well, I was standing next to Anders from TNT Eurosport when he spoke to Primoz Roglic and asked him about today's most important question as to why was Primoz Roglic wearing ankle socks.
Why was he wearing ankle socks?
Well, credit to Anders for actually asking, because I thought I was going to have to jump in and get Primoz Roglic telling me using the word exactly again. But he made a joke that it was because he doesn't want the tan lines. You know, he's getting summer ready. I mean, it is summer already. Then tried to talk to his press officer, Gabby, who you might recognise because he used to be Peter Sagan's personal press officer at Bora.
Yep. He's very funny.
Very
He's
funny, very fun, nice man.
Yep.
He said he didn't know because he had to go to the feed zone. So some of the staff had,
basically left
before the
early.
start. Left early. Thank you. And the first he saw of it was on social media like the rest of us, and he's trying to find out. Stephanie's trying to find out.
He did say that he didn't like it.
Just because this is the important story of the day, I felt that I should also do some reporting on this.
Who did you manage to
I
ask?
spoke to Enrico Gasparotto, who's a director of
we
sport.
talked to everyone at the team about this.
About socks.
And he said, that's his own decision. You can't ask me.
Well, I think we
Great.
can.
You can.
I think we can.
You
Why not?
can.
Yeah. So we don't have an answer.
No.
No.
I'm going to try and get it. I'll give Stephanie another message.
We will get it. Oh, there are cars moving.
The cars are moving. Is that us?
Yeah.
Sorry about the podcast today, everyone. It's a bit stop and start.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like all these gaps, they won't see the gaps, right?
It's authentic.
Let's
Johnny.
we're gonna give it another 90 seconds here.
Okay.
So we don't have an answer to the ankle sock mystery.
Bora-related news. Lawrence Pithy got to the finish, and we heard him say to probably a Soigneur, "What a shit birthday!" And you're allowed to swear 'cause it's a reported speech. And yeah, turns out birthday today. I think he had like 5 or 6 like socks of ice down his jersey, and was still really hot. Just our new colleague Patrick from Defector tried to maybe ask him about it, but Lawrence Pithy didn't seem in the mood to talk. So just said happy birthday. Said how old are you today? Said 23. Thank you. So wasn't in the mood to talk. Was a shit birthday.
I mean, he just came up a big mountain. It's very hot.
Yeah.
It's just, we mentioned this. It was very hot, very very hot. I can't be too surprised by that one.
Yeah.
We did. Returning to Roglic real quick. There was a smooch. There's an official smooch spot
On the
today.
Cap.
Ooh la la.
Yeah.
Yep.
There was a spot where like a whole bunch of significant others were just hanging out, and we kept just seeing riders go over and get the smooches on, and then they come right back.
I saw a Skellermoser smooch. I
Yep.
saw a Simmons smooch.
A Roglic smooch.
I didn't see the Roglic.
I got
smooch.
that
Yeah,
one on.
that was
I got it
before,
on
yeah.
video,
Thank
and
you
then I was
for
like,
the
You
thorough
videoed it.
reporting.
well, yeah, I did. I was like, I was just shooting him because he was out by himself in
Right.
this sort of area, and no one was following him. And I was
Yeah.
like, what does that have? And so I just, put my camera on and was just taking a quick video. And then it was a smooch, and I just felt a bit weird about it. And I don't think I'm going to do anything with that video.
David Gaudu,
Yeah.
not at the Tour de France, just Arthur shaking fist meme because he can't be on the Ulticam smooch in the official spot. Maybe, I'm not sure if it's because of the socks, but Roglic's legs were so unbelievably sweaty.
Yeah,
Did you see that?
yeah.
I could almost see my reflection in it.
Maybe that's why he's wearing the short socks. It's better air movement down over the ankles.
Yeah.
But
maybe.
it doesn't have any of their official branding, which I would imagine from a team branding perspective, they might want it to say
I mean,
boss
like,
on their socks or whatever.
So actually, like, he has to wear the socks. It's part of the kit. You have to wear your team kit.
So
He has to wear the socks.
200 Swiss franc fine for
Ooh,
Primoz
we'll
Roglic.
I mean, I was saying even more than that. I was saying yellow card, 500 Swiss franc fine, mostly because they were ankle socks. But like genuinely, his team, if he did, for example, give a shit, to quote him, then I think he would probably have the socks on, and I think that that it's just sort of another indicator of the general thing going on over there. I do think we need to go.
Yes.
Let's go.
So we're gonna take another quick break, and when we come back, we're gonna be somewhere else.
This is so exciting.
Welcome back, everybody. Holy. Okay, so the background has changed somewhat.
Yeah.
Oh,
boy, has it.
Big time.
Oh boy, has it. And we just had an absolute nightmare of a trip getting down off of the mountain. To be clear, we did this to ourselves. So, we decided to go up there. We got lots of great interviews. We got lots of great quotes. But then we got to sit in traffic for like 2 hours on the way down. And
Maybe not all cops are bad, but the How-to-Cam cops are bad at their job.
there was just a bit of letting all the fans in. There's an evacuation for all the sort of credentialed media and stuff and TV and whatever else. And they're letting all the fans in and then immediately then trying to remove them from the road that they just let them into, which was just chaos. Took 2 hours to get down here. So now we're in Lourdes, which is, I think it's safe to say, among the most interesting towns in Europe.
I'm going to say it as a fully paid up Roman Catholic.
So you can say this more so than I can.
Yeah. This is a town that, despite supposedly being for God, is maybe proof that God doesn't exist. I understand people come here for special reasons, whatever. I would just say no.
Can I embellish that a little bit with what we see around us, which is shops that are selling little statues of Mary.
Alongside big packets of crisps.
Yeah, and there's little like plastic bottles of holy water.
Filled from a tap.
Which is for sale. There's snow globes with Mary Magdalene in them. There's so much.
There are ginormous candles, like candles you'd get in a cathedral that you're supposed to buy retail and then put in your house?
I would say if these people weren't Catholic, it would be blasphemy. Like, it's almost making fun of organized religion.
It is, yeah. It's like a bit.
But it is also absolutely crammed because there's probably like, I don't know, 1,000 people walking past every minute.
So
We are in a pizza restaurant where the lights seem to have gone out because they're trying to scare away the bugs that keep on flying around and dropping onto the table. So we've got to cover the drinks with the napkins, and God knows what's coming to the pizzas. And it's run by a Italian man who is larger than life.
he's he's the reason why I was like, we have to eat here,
Yeah.
because he's fantastic. It reminded me of being at the Giro. Is that my?
I think that might be Patrick's.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
It's been a pretty cursed few hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Thank
been
God
pretty
we did
good
some proper racing.
God.
I think like
Nice.
so. I've got I'm like technically partially Catholic, and I have a lot of Catholic family, and I like to sort of grew up around all that, Italian in particular, and I kind of just appreciate. I now view this from afar. I'll say like I think that's maybe clear if you listened to the pod before, but I enjoy the kind of. Sorry, I think Patrick just put his beer in front of the camera.
That's all right.
I enjoy this as just an experience. Like it is genuinely. I mean, this is as a friend of the podcast, Jason Gay, over here from the Wall Street Journal, as he just said, this is the most hip hop happened in town in this part of France by a long ways tonight.
I think Jason's being paid by the Lord Tourist Board to say that thing. This is the worst town I've ever been to.
I would also say that if it's hip hop and happening, mostly that is a misunderstanding for hip hopping because everybody here has a dislocated pelvis and is in a wheelchair.
Okay,
Jesus
I was going
Christ.
to make that joke, but then I think a lot of people come here with like terminal illnesses.
No, and that's very. I appreciate that for them.
It's an interesting town.
It is an interesting
we're
place.
gonna move on from Lourdes
Yes.
because
I disavow. As a paid up Roman Catholic, I disavow. And so would Jesus if he were around and or real.
we have so much. There's so much on the not racing list
Yes.
to get through here. We already talked ankle socks. Actually, we can scratch that off, right? Policeman's corner.
Before Policeman's Corner, I have something that's a little bit more serious, maybe, which is we're going to, last night, Tadej Pogačar got clipped by Tobias Johannesson
Yep.
from Uno X.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah, we should start with this.
yeah, I think it's better than Policeman's Corner if we're
It's
giving
just-
a gradual transition.
Listen. Given where we're sitting, and everything happening around us, and everything that's happened to us in the last 2 hours, this podcast, and I've been trying to warn people when this is about to happen. This podcast is about to probably go slightly away from bike racing. So before we do that, I do think this is a genuinely important story, and yeah, let's start with it. So Ian,
Yeah,
you're setting it up.
So Tobias Johannesson was involved in the Tadej Pogačar crash yesterday, and in his immediate post-race comments, he was like, obviously I didn't want Tadej Pogačar to crash, but it happened, and he didn't really think that he did anything wrong at that point. But in the time since then, there's been like a massive social media pile-on. He posted a couple of tweets last night where he said that he was actually quite afraid about the response that he was getting from people.
Pogačar put something out.
Pogačar recorded a video, kind of like a, don't worry, we understand that this is a racing thing.
Yep.
We don't blame you. And then from my conversations with the Uno Express officer, this has been something that's kind of cast a bit of a dampener on their stage win
No, I'm sure.
yesterday, and Tobias has
Yeah.
not had a good night because of it. So I had a chat with Stig Christensen, who's one of the Uno X sports directors, about a lot of things, but one of the things that we spoke about was social media and the impact that it's had on Tobias. And I think it was actually quite a nice, insightful and reflective interview. So we're going to throw to a couple of minutes of that.
Yeah.
Tell me about last night. Last night, yeah. I was a nice celebration with, of course, our first stage win. We, some speeches and a good evening.
Nice. Obviously, Tobias got a bit of heat on social media. I don't think very fairly.
Yeah.
But he seems to be very apologetic and mentioned down at the line that was sort of motivation for you to show that he's not a shit bike rider. Can you explain how that sort of went down for him? Did that sour the evening for the celebrations and for Tobias?
And not in that way, because we talked with Pogačar. He talked with Pogačar straight after the line. We talked with Pogačar. Our Tourmalet talked with him. So and he called back to no hard feelings. Race incident. Of course, it's never nice to be. We all saw what happened, and everybody who knows Tobias knows it's not on purpose.
Yeah.
I think very few do that on purpose. One moving to the right after a move, and I think Pogačar was on the radio and a little bit unaware. So he's a super guy, this Pogačar, and you don't want to destroy anything for him. You want it to be fair and square.
Yeah.
And luckily he managed to recover. It could have been a lot worse, but it went well.
I'm glad that Tobias seemed to recover as well.
Yeah, and it's the modern sickness of social media. Everybody can say whatever they want without having any knowledge about what they talk about. And they can do it without any. They can just spit out all shit about all people, anonymous. So yeah, it's gonna be. It already create a lot of stress for young people. I'm super happy to be gray hair, not being on social media, but not too much, because there's like a open fire with negative things. So people should spend the time on something else and
go for a bike ride.
Yeah, go for a bike ride instead of slaughtering other people.
Yeah.
They don't know anything about it anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Put yourself in the peloton, and then then you can speak up. Even then, you see people make mistakes. It's stressful for the young people, for sure. We see it mentally on younger guys, that it causes stress for them.
Yeah. Did we cover Pithy Birthday already or not?
We did.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get rid of stuff.
Yep. We can wave around. You can find this in the YouTube.
Now
so you can remove it.
So? Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, we already covered a bunch of the not racing when we were in the car.
Yeah, before the car. Yeah. Policeman's Corner.
Policeman's Corner.
Well, so before Policeman's Corner,
sorry.
can we just put on the record? Can we put on the record as the Tour Daily, Spin Cycle Tour Daily podcast, the treatment of a completely innocent rider, basically, with this Pogačar crash incident has been obscene and absurd from the internet. I sort of relatively frequently advocate for shutting down the internet, and I think that this is the sort of thing that really makes me want to do that. The hate that he was getting was absolutely unacceptable, and that was it was a racing incident. It was 100% a racing incident. Both of them probably should have been slightly more careful, but that's kind of the definition of a racing incident. If everyone's careful, racing incidents don't happen.
And today, Johannesson bounced back in a pretty big way. He came fourth on the Rotterdam, which
Holy
is
moly,
incredible result for him.
Yeah. He was so worked at the top. I was standing in front of him as he was sort of preparing himself for a TV interview, and he just was sitting there for 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes, just hacking up a lung.
Oh, really?
At the top, absolutely, not sort of cough, 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 but sort of
a deep guttural.
Big cough, and then he'd sort of pull it together for 30 seconds, and then another massive cough, and then pull it together for 30 seconds. And you could just tell he was absolutely obliterated today.
But then he did give
he went so
4-minute long interview to Norway's TV2, and the interviewer had to be stopped. But,
Matt Stevens and I were making eyes at each other across the way. We're like, how many more questions are they going to ask this man?
The Policeman's Corner?
Policeman's Corner.
Policeman's Corner. Okay, so as part of our ongoing quest to figure out which cops are the cutest and which are the scariest, we were in a particularly good position today because Emmanuel Macron was at the tour, as you've probably heard, I think, in the earlier one.
So many cops.
there were a lot of cops and scary cops. And some of the scary cops came and found us at our table, and every time they came over, we genuinely thought that they were about to scan our devices or shut our computers down or tell us to move.
I just thought they would tell us to move. I thought they'd be like, nope, you can't be here. You're too close to the thing. Yeah.
Internet connection and the race.
Yeah, the first one came over and asked for the Wi-Fi password, and we were like, we don't have a Wi-Fi password, we have phones.
That was one of Macron's bodyguards because he had a little earpiece in. So even Macron's bodyguard couldn't get a bar of signal on the mountain. And we were streaming a bike race. So,
so he was like, how did you do
take that, French state?
How did you do that? The next ones to come over, almost all of them wanted to know how much farther in the bike race and who was winning. They kept asking us this.
They probably couldn't wait to go home, to be honest. One of them was particularly kind of like argumentative at first
and disdainful of the bike race.
Disdainful of the bike race. Asked what was happening in the race, and then we told him, and he said, "I don't give a fuck."
Yeah.
Quoting him.
Quote.
Quote.
And then he sort of wandered off, and then I think came back to try and make amends with us and was much more friendly second time around. Then we had another guy who was just kind of like leaning over the table. I feel like he was chain smoking, but maybe I'm embellishing that.
That guy genuinely loved bike racing. We were chatting about Pogačar. So he was the one. He didn't speak any English. He spoke French, and so we're trying to have a bit of a conversation. And yeah, he was just really into the bike race. I thought it was lovely to have an interaction with a bunch of police officers that started off kind of scary. Bunch of like very large individuals with large guns showed up.
Yeah.
And then it turned into just like them being super friendly and wanting to watch the bike race on our phones.
It was very wholesome, but I would say that if anyone took a picture of that moment, it was...
Patrick did.
Oh, great.
We'll put it on Discord.
It was just 3 of the whitest boys alive, surrounded by enormous, scary police officers, and all of them having rifles. And then me asking one of them, can you tell me the hierarchy of the police in France, and then being very confused by the question.
Yes. It's just a shame they didn't do their jobs after that.
I don't think it was them. I think it was the much lower down the chain police officers.
Can I rattle through a few things before we get to our next grab?
Our next throw.
Our next audio, throw. So everyone at the finish day was shaking Stefan Buri's hand.
Yeah.
All of the security guards.
This is the tackler.
Stefan Buri was walking around like he was a cock of the walk. He was absolutely loving life. Everyone's coming up to him, shaking his hand, like making motions, how tough he was.
It was good stuff. Have we what?
That's the satellite restaurant they're walking.
Oh, we could have sat over there.
The Christian van der Velde, immediately after the bike race, I was trying to make myself feel better, and he came up to chat to you, basically, Caley.
He's friend of the pod.
Yeah. I did say to him, I was like, well, no matter how bad I'm feeling, Christian, and the prospect of this bike race, you must be feeling 100 times worse because you're going to be in the back of the motorbike. And I don't think he'd realised that maybe, or just doesn't like being reminded. So I felt immediately bad for making him feel bad to make myself feel better.
He had some kind of dark shades on, and you can see the sorrow through them.
And when he said goodbye, he sort of like tapped me in like the kidney direction to be like, you fucking son of a bitch. Sorry, that's 2 swears without a quote. It was kind of it was an imagined quote in his head. What else is there on this list?
The Irish Mirror.
We'll leave that for after dark.
Okay.
Let's go to our next throw.
Yeah.
As we begin our awards section of the podcast.
Yep.
Now, this is a first on the podcast, and we have to give a massive shout out to the Bahrain Victorious press officer Ashley House.
Yep.
For, without us even asking, conducted an interview with one half of yesterday's Bravest Boy Award, Fred Wright, on what it meant for him to receive the Bravest Boy Award.
He just sent this over this morning.
Sorry?
I said Ashley just sent this over this morning, and it was incredible.
So let's hear from it now.
Fred Wright, yesterday you were awarded Bravest Boy Award on stage 11 by the wonderful Escape Collective. How do you feel about that? How was the day yesterday, and where does this sit on your palmarès of all the things that you've won so far in your career?
I'm very proud to be a brave boy. No, it's nice to get something from yesterday. It was nice to be there in the break, but to win an award is also pretty special.
Will it inspire you for another breakaway day? Have you still got it left in you to go for another one?
as long as there's Lenny Martinez or Santiago attached to me today, maybe today's another day for the breakaway.
Could be. Will you continue to be brave, and how brave can you be, and how much of a boy are you?
Oh, I am the bravest boy.
Thanks, Fred.
Yeah, massive thank you to
Thank you
Ashley
to both of
for
them, yeah.
sending this over. Like, just we know he's a friend of the pod.
Yeah.
We know this is the pod, and I just didn't expect him to do our job for us. Just really, really appreciate it.
How do we scale
Yeah.
this?
How do we get the press officers to just start doing all the interviews for
Yeah.
us?
But in a fun way.
But in a fun way. Yeah.
Maybe this is
He comes from like broadcast journalism
Yeah, he
and
does get it.
knows,
Yeah. He gets it more than
knows the drill. Yeah. So thank you to Ashley first and foremost for doing that, and also thank you for Fred for kind of understanding the assignment with the response there. I appreciate you.
Maya Sabler.
Yep.
Unfortunately, it's not Oliver Narsson.
Or Anders Johannesson, who...
Oh, sorry, was that the one? Oh, sorry, yes, I
Anders
thought I
Johannesson
skipped
was
today,
the most
sorry.
recent one, but today was just such a mess that we didn't make it to the start because you couldn't make it to the start and the finish.
Yeah.
These are the wicked
did try.
web that the ASO weave for us.
They're sitting over there. I bet I can hear me. You did try to.
I tried.
To get it.
I
Really
sent a
tried.
message off to Uno X saying, "Can I please get this to happen?" And they said, "Number one,
Sorry.
Abrahamson won the stage yesterday." I
Yes.
just blanked for a moment.
Yes.
Number two,
You're brave. Your bravest boy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Number two, Tobias Johannesson has been getting death threats
Yes.
overnight. So number three, Anders is not going to be responding to this.
Yes.
Which is fair enough,
Yeah,
all things
of course.
considered.
Yep.
But anyway, sadly, he has moved out of the
Maya
Maya
Sabler.
Sabler.
Well, the good news, Ian, is that you may be able to use your extensive contacts over at RK B&B Hotels for our new Maya Sabler, Clement Venturini,
Oh, that's good
who's
news.
at 1 hour and 1 minute dead, which we love to see.
Yep.
Great.
You, like could go no better.
Could go no better.
Yeah.
The only better option would be the person closest but faster than Venturini is Mathieu van der Poel at 58 minutes 53. Where do we put the percentage chance of us getting the Maya Sabler interview with Mathieu van der Poel?
Negative percentage.
Yes.
That will never happen. But, well, Venturini is also not that likely because their press officer is an argumentative and grumpy man.
Well, now you've absolutely spoofed it. Let's go to After Dark for a quick. We got an Ineos update.
Yep.
They released a statement on the story finally.
They did.
And what a statement.
What a statement. We've got someone else to add to our black book,
Yep.
and
It's an Irish
it's an
thing.
Irish
It's not Ronan.
And maybe we do a little bit more teeing off about law. Maybe we've done enough. Maybe we just get through the items and then maybe close the book on this day because I am coming to
can't
the
wait.
edge.
I'm pretty aware that there's probably some devout Catholics in our audience, and I don't want to
am.
insult anybody.
No, but I have to say, this is not the Catholic faith here.
Yeah.
I'm going to put a line in the sand.
You're not super Catholic, but you grew up. We should say, like,
I
the
am.
context is like you
I
grew.
was at church every week till I was 18, and this
Yeah.
is not the vibe.
All right.
Come on.
Let's go to After Dark.
Can't have crisps next to Statue of the Virgin Mary.
Hey, before we go After Dark, though, we have a deal.
Yeah.
We have a discount.
Is it pray for forgiveness and you get into heaven? Or is it better than that because it's actually real and it's
even
money?
Better. It's even better. So, I have received word from our very own Andy Van Bergen, head of membership, that just right now, if you head to escapecollective.com/pod, P-O-D, you will get 25% off an annual membership at Escape Collective. Just for I don't even know how long. Not that long. A day or two. You got to act fast. So escapecollective.com/pod. Get 25% off. We never discount. We never did. The last year's tour was the only other time we've discounted anything. So jump on it. If you've been wavering, go get it's annual only. Get your annual membership to Escape Collective. escapecollective.com/pod. 25% off. Go do it. All right, now we're headed to After Dark.